Hello, I'm Game Retainer, and in this video I've put together a guide for gaining XP. This guide is aimed at beginners. That said, if you are a veteran player and you're looking for something to watch, hello there. Now, let's jump straight in. The first thing you should know about gaining XP and leveling up is you gain XP for doing just about anything in the game. From opening up boxes, to killing cute creatures, killing uglier creatures, mining any material, reading books and magazines, and just about everything else in the game. So while you do gain XP for doing pretty much anything, there are some things you can do to help boost the amount of XP that you get as you go along. So let's take a look at a few of them. Now, I'm not going to give an example for all the ones I've got, but for the first one I will, because why not? The Treasure Hunters mod is an attachment that goes on your headwear, and it gives you a nice 10% gain to XP. So if I kill this lovely biker here, I am a level 1, have a fresh character, completely useless, no skills. If I kill him, I get 750 XP. If I kill another one, but I put on my lovely little headwear like that, I get 825. So quite a significant difference really. The next additional thing we're going to look at is this book here, Night Stalker Volume 6. Usually at night, despite the fact that zombies do run, minus the difficulty of the zombie itself or the enemy, the amount of XP you get is the same as it would be if you made the kill during the day. This book gives you 5% more XP from kills at night. Now, might not sound like a lot, but on Horde night, when you're killing zombie after zombie, that adds up pretty quick. It's not an exact science, but roughly every 20 kills you get, you kind of get a zombie XP equivalent absolutely free. So it's definitely worth keeping an eye out for Night Stalker Volume 6. Another useful item to keep an eye out for is the Scavenger Hat, because that will give you, depending on its tier, between 10% and a whopping 60% increase to your XP gain while salvaging. So if I, without wearing a hat, salvage, I get a decent amount of XP, nothing too crazy. I put on the hat, I get more. I put on the level 6 hat, and I get even more. Now, the XP jump that you saw then was because I got a radiator. If you get stuff while you're salvaging, you'll gain more XP. So it does depend a little bit on luck, but you will get items pretty regularly. You see there I got considerably less, and then I get more if I get anything decent. So if you're like me and you love grabbing everything you can, keep an eye out for this hat, because it will make quite a big difference to how much XP you gain while you're out salvaging for scrap. The last thing I'm going to point out in this section is Grandpa's Learning Elixir. This is incredibly good for Horde nights. When you see it in vending machines or in trader inventories, pick it up if you can afford it, because 20% XP gain for 6 minutes is really valuable. Usually I think I would get 400 XP for killing just a regular old zombie. I get 480. So every 5 zombies I kill, I get the equivalent of that 6th kill free, in a weird way, if you want to look at it that way. The next thing I'm going to talk about when it comes to XP gain are skills. Now, for the most part, every single skill does impact your XP, albeit in an indirect way. For example, if you put a point into archery, you'll do 10% more damage and aim 10% faster, which means you'll kill enemies faster, which means you'll be more efficient, and so on. So it's a bit of a snowball effect. The same goes for most of the perks. If you look at even parkour, this lets you jump higher and fall further without getting hurt. This can help you escape zombies, which can prevent you from dying. If you die, you get the XP penalty. So this again kind of mitigates that and helps you gain more XP in the long run. After playing around and looking at different things, one of the best perks for a direct boost to XP is Physician. The 3rd rank in Physician gives you 500% more XP for using bandages, first aid bandages, and first aid kits and splints. This can be incredibly powerful, especially if you're trying to complete some of the challenges that involve you getting hurt. I know you can't see them for me, that's because this is a blank character that I'm using for recording. So I would absolutely get to at least rank 3 in Physician, because you will notice that as you're going out and about, think about how many bandages you use on a day-to-day basis. For the sake of a couple of pieces of cloth, it's worth having this perk. Now that we've looked at skill points, let's look at some of what I believe to be the best ways of gaining XP. I'm not going to be covering exploits in this section. I am going to give them a quick footnote towards the end. I don't recommend using them personally because it's, well, what's the point in playing? All these methods are through grinding and playing the game. Now, the first one is via traders. Not only can you do jobs for traders, which does give you a nice chunk of XP, but you can sell stuff too. And every item you sell, or every duke you gain, I should say, gives you 1 XP. So if you go and do a big sale, I mean, that's not particularly big, but in the early stages that would be. I gained extra because I have the Grandpa's Learning Elixir active, but I would have gotten 330 XP. So it's just selling stuff, you will gain XP.
Out there. You wouldn't want to
if you've gone through a POI and killed all that there is to kill, salvaged all there is to salvage whilst using your salvaging gloves, and then made your way back to lovely Rect here or any of the other traders, you can gain even more XP by selling stuff. Also, if you've done a mission, you'll get that XP too. Unfortunately, buying stuff doesn't do anything. No XP for that. But still, getting XP for selling any old crap to these traders is pretty damn good.
Get out of my store.
Screamers, while they might seem scary early on, especially in your first playthrough, these lovely ladies are phenomenal for gaining a lot of XP in a short space of time. These will come to you once you've generated enough heat. Heat will be generated through pretty much every action, so cooking, mining, chopping down trees, hitting, killing, jumping, you name it. Most things in the game generate at least some sort of heat within the area you're standing in. Once a screamer is summoned, well, they'll scream, hence their name. This will summon a nice mini horde of zombies, which could contain another screamer, which can then scream, and so on. So you can have like a Russian nesting screaming doll type situation. They can only scream, I don't know the exact number, hopefully if there's a veteran viewer out there, they can put the exact number, but they can scream more than once. And you can end up with a nice little horde. So don't be frightened when you see these, and don't kill them straight away, like I'm going to do now. She was annoying me. Let them run around for a bit. Kill the other zombies that this one summons. Where are you pointing? But don't get rid of her too soon. I know in the early stages these might seem scary, but trust me, they're fantastic for gaining XP. And just look at that face. Gorgeous. No matter what type of player you are, whether you want to run from screamers or run towards them, something that all of us will need to do in order to survive is mine. And mining is a fantastic way of gaining XP, especially if you combine things that I mentioned towards the beginning of the video, such as the Treasure Hunters mod and Grandpa's Learning Elixir. If I just mine a bit, you can see in the bottom right, you don't earn that much per hit, and obviously if you're using an axe, you'll get slightly less. However, it's a matter of mining over time. Because of the sheer volume of material you're going to need for building purposes, you will end up gaining lots of XP. It's not uncommon for me, once I've hit the 100, 150 level mark, I can still level up a couple of times per in-game day just by mining. It does add up. More than that, if you find the Art of Mining Volume 1, you get a small chance to mine rare gems from ore. Now, As I mentioned in one of the previous entries, you can sell stuff to traders for XP. Ore is valuable, rare gems are even more valuable. So if you're lucky to get yourself some rare gems, head on over to one of the traders and sell them and make a little bit of more money and more XP at the same time. Crafting anything in the game is a good way to gain XP. What is an even better way is upgrading blocks. Now, the more blocks you upgrade in quick succession, the less XP you'll get. It will go down, it has sort of a limit. But if you've taken Grandpa's Learning Elixir and you've got yourself lots of concrete, cobble, wood, whatever, you can level up pretty quickly from the safety of your base just by upgrading blocks. My personal favourite way of gaining XP is as soon as I've got a motorcycle, I make my way into the Wasteland after dark and I hunt down tough creatures. Things like bears, I'm just going to take this one down, bears, direwolves, any glowing zombie, any difficult enemy, you get a lot of XP for taking down. Not only that, but enemies such as zombie bears and direwolves are guaranteed to drop an orange loot bag, which is the best loot bag in the game. And when that happens, not only do you get XP for the kill, you then get XP for looking in the loot bag, and you'll also get XP for anything that you sell to traders after looting the bag. So you get multiple lots of XP for essentially killing one enemy. Also, if you have a knife on you, I'll just give myself one of those. I am using console commands, as I've said before. Makes recording videos easier. I get XP for cutting up any enemies that I kill, and again, I gain resources from the enemy that I kill, meaning I can sell those, and it's kind of a knock-on effect. So my favourite, come into the Wasteland and take on all there is to take on. For the last part of this video, I am going to talk about two ways that I don't recommend because, well, it kind of takes a lot of the point out of the game. I'm not going through particular glitches because if you want to use a glitch, there are countless videos out there that show them. I don't like doing it, so I'm not mentioning it. I am, however, mentioning two ways that the game gives you to give yourself pretty much infinite XP. The first one is only for PC users. If you press F1, you bring up the little control panel here, and that lets you put in console commands. And if I type in the command give self XP followed by a number, let's go big, why not? And then press enter. I've given myself XP. In fact, I've just hit max level. So I don't recommend doing it because, again, I keep saying it, but what's the point? It does take a lot of fun out of it, unless you want to do a more creative play and you're not interested in actually playing the game, that's fine. But aside from that, really? Don't do it. Just play the game as intended. Now, with a smooth transition, we're going to cut to the last thing I'm going to talk about. Hope you enjoyed that smooth transition. For the last bit, I've taken myself to the main menu of the game. I'm sure most of you know that you can fiddle with the settings for any one of your game saves. One of the options you have is the option to tweak the XP multiplier. You can go up to 300%. Don't do it. You can, but you will die. Yes, you'll gain more XP. However, the faster you gain XP, the faster you level up. The faster you level up, the faster the zombies become more difficult. And the last thing you want is to be on your first horde and be visited by a team of angry direwolves or any irradiated zombie or anything horrible like that. I recommend keeping it as is. The base settings are there for a reason. If you're going to tweak anything, tweak the difficulty. You can do it whenever you want, basically. You can tweak the difficulty on day one when you first make the game. You can go back and change it as time goes on. For me, I like to start off with Nomad and then sort of every week or so try and go up. But I know a lot of players go straight in on Insane mode because they're braver than me and I'm a coward. But that's the last one I've got for this beginner's guide. This is by no means a fully comprehensive guide on every way to gain XP. There are loads of other ways to gain XP. I just wanted to cover the basics for some newer players. Now I'm going to finish off with one last smooth transition. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this video. I do appreciate it. It helps massively. I can't believe the channel is where it is now. I didn't expect to get more than 10 followers, and 9 of them being accounts that I made my mum make. Thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next one. If you're looking for something else to watch, have a look down there somewhere. There should be a video, and I'll see you next time.